Good morning, guys, from small town Wisconsin. It is early morning and I came to catch the sunrise over this beautiful lake here. And I think we got a family of geese and stuff behind me. We'll see if they cooperate. But in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the biggest lies expats tell themselves when moving out to Southeast Asia. Stick around for today's video.
Southeast Asia calling me instead. Bangkok nights and Bali shores. Sick of dreaming, want something more. Pack your bags, don't hesitate. Gio, let's go before it's too late. Time keeps slipping.
Okay, guys, I'm trying to chase down these geese real quick here. There they are. I don't want to run, but I'm trying to catch them. There they are. They're all coming out, big family of them. Let's try to step it up a little bit. Oh yeah, they're upset. They don't like me. There's another big group up there. Anyway, I've got the jet lag, so I've been waking up kind of early lately. And I figured, well, let's just take advantage of it and go out to the park during the most beautiful time of day and do a walk and do a video at the same time. My sons don't wake up till like noon. They're horrible. But so I got all this time in the morning to burn. So I think I come here, I do some walking, and then you're there behind me here. There's a huge family of them. They're there. Come on, don't be scared. Don't be. You don't need to be scared. Okay, so I'm going to go find a place over here right on the lake to sit down. And hopefully nobody's going to be out there fishing or anything. If they are, I guess I'll have to choose a new location. I see a truck stopped up ahead. There are no hours to the park, so anybody can come. And I think somebody's coming out there to go fishing, it looks like. So I'll find a quiet spot someplace. Let me turn off the camera for now until I get to my spot. I think you guys can see kind of the background here. I mean, these kids are on the dock where I was going to sit on a little bench. But that's okay. We'll sit over here. That's no worries. I don't want to disturb them while they're fishing. So I just want to talk about, things like living abroad. It really can improve your life in lots of different ways. But I think a lot of foreigners come over here believing things that simply aren't true. And I think eventually the reality catches up. So that's what I'm going to talk about in today's video. And I think the first thing is that they think moving abroad will solve their problems. Listen, if you've got a bunch of problems, and I don't know what they might be, but loneliness will follow you. If you're lonely and you're an introverted person, probably moving to Southeast Asia probably won't be a whole lot better for you, to be honest. In fact, it might make you even more lonely, because if you're an introvert and you don't put yourself out there to go meet other expats or even locals, which are harder to meet, then it's just going to be worse for you, in my opinion. And if you are somebody who suffers from depression or anxiety, well, that's going to follow you as well. I just think that bad habits continue overseas. So if you have drinking problems, things like that, all of a sudden you're going to be thrust into an environment where beer is 1/3, 1/4 the price of here in the US or Europe, and things are going to get worse. Moving overseas to Southeast Asia is not going to fix these things. And I think that's lie number one that maybe a lot of foreigners will tell themselves. Hey, if I move overseas, well, maybe I won't be so lonely anymore, or maybe I'll get a step up on my drinking or depression or anxiety. And the second thing is they really, and again, this is the fault of a lot of YouTubers, but they think that they will live like a king forever on their Social Security check of $1,500, $2,000, $2,500, whatever it is. They think, and I'm talking about the lower income earners, they think they will live like a king forever here in Southeast Asia. And it's not true. You get the emergencies and all kinds of things that will happen overseas just as easy as anywhere else. I mean, you've got inflation, your Social Security check, well, you might get a little bumps, when raises, but inflation's going to follow. Inflation happens everywhere. You got visa costs. You got to think about long term. If you're going to go to Thailand, you got to get onto like a retirement visa. No longer can you just sit there and do border runs. Philippines, maybe you can do that. Cambodia is pretty lenient with a retirement visa if you're over 55. But other countries like Vietnam and stuff, you got to do visa runs. Thailand, you've got to get onto a retirement visa or some kind of a DTV or something, and that costs some money. In healthcare, even though healthcare is a fraction of the cost, it's still going to cost you. And insurance, depending on your age, might be really expensive. If you've got underlying conditions, you may have a really hard time even getting insured. So you've got to plan for these things, and living like a king could all be taken away by the first medical emergency. You got dating expenses. Dating expenses, depending where you're at, it's going to cost money. And if you move in with somebody, well, then you've got double electric. Maybe you want to move into a bigger place where you got, double water consumption. You've got double the food. Do you go on a trip or you go out to a restaurant? Everything is now doubled. Now, she might be able to save you some money in some ways by helping know where to shop and things like that, but still in the long run, it's going to cost you more. In dating, if you're dating, until you find the right one, it costs money to go on dates. It is not always cheap, especially in Thailand, where a lot of them want to go to like rooftop restaurants. I don't do that. If they mention they want to go to a rooftop restaurant on the first date, I usually say, no, sorry. I'll offer an alternative. If they say something negative like that about where I chose, then I usually scratch them off the list. And then you got lifestyle creep. And this is one I think people don't mention, but your lifestyle, you slowly kind of creep up to spending more. Maybe initially you said, okay, I'll spend this much and I'll put the rest into reserve. But you slowly increase your spending. Heck, when I get back, I'm moving into a more expensive condo. Do I need it? Not really. I can afford it, but probably really I don't really need it. But that is lifestyle creep. You slowly, I've started eating much healthier. That costs a little more money. Before I was just going out and eating street food, $1, $2, but they still, they use seed oils and there's a lot of frying and there's sugar. Even though the food is excellent in Thailand, even the street food, it's good. For a quick meal, if you're busy and you want to grab something, that's inexpensive and quick, it's fantastic. The Philippines, not so much, but that's lifestyle creep. Now I'm eating healthier. I want to move into a nicer place. Well, lifestyle creep. And I think line number 3 is dating is easy. Listen, if you go and you take care of yourself, it might be pretty easy, but it doesn't mean finding the right one is easy. That doesn't matter where you go. It still takes time to filter out and date and find ones that you're compatible with. Just because she's a Asian girl and attractive and petite and beautiful doesn't mean you're compatible, doesn't mean you have anything in common. And once that little honeymoon phase wears off, you might be sitting around saying, gosh, I really don't have anything in common with this girl. Well, dating, again, is not easy. It may be easy to get a date, like in the Philippines, but it's not easy to find the right one. And I think a lot of time is the guys come over to Asia, and I think loneliness actually clouds their judgment. And I'm guilty of it myself. You come over from here. I mean, I was on Tinder the other day here. It is horrible. I just did it just to see what is out there. It ain't pretty, guys. It ain't pretty. But, in Asia, you will match with a lot of them. But I still think you need to go and you need to try to be healthy, look as good as you can, don't dress like a slob. And dating is going to take some time to find the right one. And I think a lot of people ignore the obvious red flags. Again, I've been guilty of it, but a lot of people do that. They move in way too quickly. A lot of people just rush, and that is just not a a good idea. It's a recipe for disaster. And lie number 4, I'll never miss home. That's not true. I miss my family a lot. I miss this nature here that's behind me. In fact, I'll switch up the angle in a minute here, but beautiful. There's beauty everywhere in the world. It's just different kinds of beauty. You know, in Asia, I got the tropical beaches and the waterfalls and the islands and the warm weather. Here, I mean, you know, you saw the geese and the sun coming up off the lake. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful, but it's a different kind of beauty. And, you know, there's fishing, freshwater fishing. I miss a lot of that stuff, which is why I come back once or twice per year, because it's enjoyable. I do have some sticker shock, and I certainly don't want to date here, and I really don't want to live here anymore. But I still very much enjoy coming out here, very much so. But again, when you got family where they're taking pictures and they're all gathered around for Christmas, and you're over there in Asia, and you're like, gosh, kind of miss getting together with everybody. Yeah, you got loneliness, and you know, you're going to miss home sometimes. And aging parents is another thing. You know, my father passed away back in 2018, I want to say, December 2018. Yeah, I think it was December 2018, I believe. It's been a while now. And my mom's aging, you know, and I find it even more important to get out here once or twice per year. And I worry all the time, you know, did I see her? Did I spend enough time with her? I mean, is she going to pass and I'll have regrets like, God, I wish I would have spent more time. And yeah, aging parents can hold you back as well. But you also get burnout sometimes from constant movement. I mean, you guys, if you follow my channel, you've seen me. I've constantly going around. And sometimes I miss just having that steady place where I can build a home and own a property. I mean, yeah, I can own a condo and stuff in Southeast Asia, but owning a property with land where you can build a deck and do things like that, I kind of miss that. I do miss that. And I think lie number 5 is I don't need a plan. What do I mean by that? Well, you've got to have a savings. You got to have that emergency fund. Emergencies happen just like anywhere else. And you may have to get back home in a hurry, and you may have to buy a last-minute ticket that includes hotels, rental cars, things like that. You got to have an emergency savings. And in fact, it's even more important that you have it out in Southeast Asia, because you don't want to be homeless in a foreign country. Here, there's some support system. Maybe you got some family, you got some friends. You usually don't rely on sleeping on a buddy's couch in Southeast Asia. Most of us are living in one-bedroom condos, and we certainly wouldn't want a friend sleeping on our couch for a month at a time. So you got to have that savings. You need to have insurance. You need to have visa backups. Insurance, again, it's important to have. It really is. You just never know. Even though it's really affordable out there, you still need the insurance. Visa backups, you never know when all of a sudden Thailand changes their retirement visa. Maybe they make it where it's unattainable for the average person. Maybe they decide to bump it up to only the elite now. Maybe they've decided we have too many foreigners. Well, you might need some kind of visa backup. You may need a plan B. Okay, well, I guess maybe I'll go back to the Philippines. Maybe I'll go to Cambodia, Vietnam, I don't know, Malaysia. Emergencies, you know. And YouTube income stability, let me tell you, I just learned this just recently. YouTube, I cannot rely on. I can't rely on it. It's great. It's bonus money. It's extra spending money. And it was fantastic for the longest time. But the other day, my channel was a phishing type scam where they they got access to my channel. My channel was gone for 3 full days. And it was kind of a scary thing, like, boom, all that income was gone. And, you know, luckily, it's backup money, it's extra money, it's spending money. But when you get used to having it, it kind of gets built into your everyday, you know, spending and your everyday budget. And to get that yanked away was kind of a scary thing. So you need to have stable income. I'm not talking if you're just a vlogger, just whatever you're doing. Most of you should be on things like pensions, 401ks or something that it's stable. And I think lie number 6 is everyone back home is miserable. Listen, I know people who still live in the U.S. and hey, I walking by, I think these people out here fishing, do they look miserable? No, I think they're enjoying, they're having a good life. I saw people out here all meeting together for some kind of nature walk yesterday. People out, meeting for coffees and having conversations. And you realize that they're not all out here like suffering and miserable. There still is a good life here for a lot of people. There's a lot of bad that's happening in this country, but there's still good life here. If I had to move back, it would be small town America, let me tell you. It'd be small town America. No longer would I live in a big city. I would get myself a home right on a lake, tiny living, and I probably would be happy. But I'm not at that point. I enjoy my life in Asia. Honestly, I really do. But some people genuinely love the West. I've met many people who spend 6 months here, 6 months in Asia, and that's like the perfect combination. Or maybe some guys have no desire to even go out to Asia. Some guys, or men and women, don't even have a desire to spend more than a few weeks. I had a cousin come out to Bangkok, and he absolutely loved it. But to live, he likes his life in California. I'm not a fan of California myself, but yeah. So happiness just kind of depends on personalities and priorities. And for some people, that may mean escaping the West and getting out to Southeast Asia. For some people, it could be 6 months here and 6 months there. Other people, it could be a couple of weeks on vacation. Some people leave the West altogether. There's just different personalities, and different people want different things. I guess that's how I'm going to end the video here. But again, I think living abroad is absolutely worth it, in my opinion. But I think it works best when you stop romanticizing it and you start seeing it clearly. What is the biggest reality check you have experienced living overseas? Comment down below. Let's have that conversation. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'm gonna look at. You can see the sun is rising behind me here. It is becoming really nice out. I'm seeing what is that? That looks like actually I just saw it's a beaver right there. Probably can't see it. And then oh yeah, we got some ducks over here. Yeah, you can see them right there. And then you can see a couple of kids on this dock out here fishing. But yeah, I'm going to walk back to the car. It is 5:45 now, and I'm going to walk back to my car, go to the hotel, and eat breakfast and get coffee, because it is now breakfast is served at 6 a.m. So I like to be the first one right when they've just cooked the food, get out there and grab it. And yeah, so, but yeah, I've been enjoying coming out here and just kind of taking my morning walks. Because of the jet lag, I've been waking up super early. So I just kind of come out here and I do the morning walk, and I catch the sunrise, and I see all the geese and the duck and beaver, and if I'm lucky, I'll get a loon, which they make the most beautiful sounds of any bird that I've ever known, in my opinion. Yeah, just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. All right, guys, I appreciate you watching. Going off to get breakfast and my morning coffee. See you guys in the next video. Ciao.
Southeast Asia calling me instead. Bangkok nights and Bali shores. Sick of dreaming, want something more. Pack your bags, don't hesitate. Gio, let's go before it's too late. Time keeps slipping away from us. Keep living